Essentially, when thinking about studying literature, especially literature that has existed for several centuries, thoughts such as, why is this important, or how does this relate to me, arise. Although someone is not going to relate to every piece of writing they read, literature still has plenty to offer. For example, take the course textbook, The Norton Anthology of World Literature. All the excerpts in the book are thousands of years old, so yes, it is possible that one could read the entire text and not relate to a single printed word on a personal level. However, there is also the historical context to consider. Ancient literature is almost like a door to the past, or, in a more modern context, a time machine, as it offers us a way to study cultures long gone and learn from the people who lived before us. Literature connects us to our past. Even if it's not necessarily relatable, ancient literature contains profound wisdom, not always overt. Through analyzing literature, we can learn from past mistakes and successes. Literature allows us to explore new topics, and it pushes us outside of our comfort zones. Literature has a phenomenal amount of wisdom to offer. We just have to be willing to listen. Confucius's Analects, for example, have stood the test of time due to their relevance. Before we continue, here's a little background history. Confucius was born in the northeastern state of Lu, in today's Shandong province. He came from the lower ranks of hereditary nobility. At one point in his life, he left Lu, spent several years wandering from court to court in search of a ruler who would appreciate his talents and political vision. The Analects manifested during the Warring States period, circa 475 through 221 BCE. During this time, China was divided into many small kingdoms. Confucius's conviction that the political chaos he perceived around him could be avoided by returning to the moral values of the founders of the Zhou dynasty. Quote, his emphasis on the importance of social roles and rituals could reinforce existing hierarchies, but at the same time it allowed individuals to develop their inner potential and find a meaningful place in society. End quote. That quote was from the Northern Anthology, page 1132. Confucius finally returned to Lu and lived out his life as a teacher, gathering a considerable following. However, Confucius did not write the Analects. Rather, they were written by his disciples several generations after his passing. The Analects discuss topics such as filial piety, having respect for one's elders, rites and rituals, government, and the importance of self-improvement. A prevalent theme throughout several of them is the importance of education and the pursuit of knowledge. Here are a few examples. 1424. In the old days, people studied to improve themselves. Now they study in order to impress others. Meaning, one should study to enhance their life, not to impress colleagues. 817. Learning is like a chase, in which, as you fail to catch up, you fear to lose what you have already gained. There is a plethora of topics to research and analyze. Thus, it is not humanly possible to know or understand everything. One should utilize education to enrich their life, not to compete with others. When studying, one should expand upon current knowledge, instead of attempting to learn an unfamiliar topic. As Confucius says to one of his followers, do you think that I am someone who learns a lot of things and then stores them all up? Indeed, is that not so? Confucius responds with, I have one single thread on which to string them all. In other words, when striving to gain new knowledge, relate it to knowledge already attained by stringing everything together. Relating new information to old can also help one improve upon former or outdated ideas. As seen in 8.17, hastily learning a new task can result in losing knowledge rather than gaining. For example, students who memorize a list of facts for an exam are not gaining anything. After the exam has been completed, the students might be able to recall a fraction of the information, as memorization does not equate learning. And although factual knowledge is necessary, a deeper understanding of what is being taught is of utmost importance. It is a step towards gaining wisdom. Even though Confucius's Analects are centuries old, they still apply in a modern context. In the university setting, students are all working towards a common goal, earning a degree with the hopes of getting a better job in the near future. One should not simply focus on the end result, but rather learn as much as they can during the process. Going through the motions to earn a degree is a waste of time and money. When the time comes, the students will not likely be prepared for a job in the real world. Therefore, the Analects contain a great deal of advice and wisdom that can still resonate with today's readers.